What's up guys, I'm randomfrankp, back with a video on the newly released Be Quiet Dark Base Pro 900 case. Now it's not going to be a typical review in the format that I usually do, but instead we're going to be doing 5 pros and 5 cons just in case you're thinking of picking this up. First off, the Dark Base Pro 900 features a world's first integrated Qi charger on top of the case. Now this is awesome because if you have a smartphone that has this enabled, you can simply put your phone on top of the case in a little dedicated section and begin to wirelessly charge your phone. Like I said, it's never been done before, and I think this is awesome because odds are, if this case is next to you on your desk, and it's a beauty, it absolutely should be, you can just put your phone up there while you're gaming or editing or just browsing the internet and have your phone charging wirelessly at the same time. This is really cool, and I wish more computers would do this in the future. Don't know why it hasn't been done in the past, but I love the new integration, and props for going out there and venturing outside a comfort zone of usual companies and having this as a cool feature. Second is going to be the modularity of this case and just how versatile it really is. And this might take the cake for being the most modular case out there. First off, the motherboard can be repositioned vertically in 3 different heights, so you can move it up and down. If you have like a larger radiator on top, you can just easily compensate for that. The hard drive slots are also removable, and while that's pretty common, they give you the ability to fit up to 7 hard drives, 15 SSDs, and 2 optical drives. So you can literally have this entire thing stacked up with hard drives, and if you don't need them, you can take them all out, have better airflow, or take advantage of the numerous water cooling configurations. And it doesn't end there. Literally, the entire case can be inverted, meaning the left panel with your glass and all your components can be swapped to the right side if you feel free to do that. The motherboard tray, the hard drive cage, everything can be switched from the left to the right side. It's pretty insane how you can literally flip the entire insides of this case just by yourself. If you want to see a review on that, I highly recommend checking out the Hardware Canucks review. I'll put it right up top. They showed you how it looks and the whole process of inverting this case. It is insane. Definitely check that out. Third is that tempered glass panel and the overall aesthetics of this case. I went with the all blackout version so I can kind of, highlight certain components specifically. They also sell this case in black and silver and black and orange, in which there will be like orange accents throughout the case, like the grommets and an orange strip. But I think the all black looks really awesome. Now that piece of tempered glass looks really, really nice as well, so you can literally just see everything inside. It's 4mm thick, which means it's very, very solid, and it's also going to help keep out a lot of the internal noise. But with this model, they also include 2 LED strips that you can put inside the case, and once you open up the front panel, there's a little button there which you can go in and change from different colors. So you couple the all blackout interior with that piece of tempered glass and the LED lights, and you have this beauty of a case. As you can see, I went with mostly black hardware on the inside with my white 980 Ti Hall of Fame graphics card and the white and black braided cables to kind of highlight that. And with the LED lights, it'll make it pop. You can see the colors. It just overall looks extremely nice. Fourth is how quiet this case is, and that really shouldn't be a shocker considering the company's name is Be Quiet. But this is hands down the most quiet case I've ever used. In fact, the only thing you can really hear sitting next to it, and when I'm at my desk, it's around 1.5 feet away from me, you can actually hear the hard drive. That's how quiet this case is. Now, obviously, when you're gaming and stuff, it's going to get a little bit louder, and you're going to probably be hearing the fans on your graphics card the most, but I was just blown away about how quiet this case is. Even sitting next to it, it is literally inaudible. And that's all thanks due to the sound absorbing material they use on the inside of the case and on the front panels, the back panels. Really helps keep the noise down. And it's also in part due to the fact they installed 3 of their very own Silent Wing 3 fans, which are extremely quiet as it is. So this is going to take the award for being just hands down one of the quietest cases I've ever used. And the last pro is the overall just air intake and the airflow of this case. Since I mentioned it is so modular, you can have great airflow on the inside. There are removable dust filters on the front panel and on the bottom of the case, which slide out front first, which is awesome and easy for accessibility. But there actually isn't an intake on the bottom of the case. It's on the bottom sides. And this is good if you're someone who doesn't have room on your desk. You can actually put this on the ground, on your rug, on the floor, and you're not gonna have a huge problem with it sucking in dust and all this stuff. So that's really great. But let's be honest, I know it's kind of a big case. You're gonna want this on your desk to show it off. Now we're gonna switch over to the downfall of the case, which is 5 cons, which most of them aren't extreme. They're mainly minor, but one thing in particular kind of bugs me. And the first con is gonna be the fact that the front panel does not stay closed, or if it doesn't stick closed. I don't know if the magnets aren't strong enough or if the front panel is too heavy, but it won't stay closed. Now this probably won't be an issue for you. I only noticed it when I was moving it around my room during the building process and the filming process, when I noticed that the door kept coming open regardless of me closing it and it clicking in. So if you just have it, in a static place, if you're not gonna be moving your case around, it's not gonna be an issue. But it kind of annoyed me seeing that the panel would just come open whenever it wanted. The second one is pretty minor, but it's obviously going to be a given when you have a case that has a piece of glass on the front, and that is if you are OCD, you're going to want to keep some Windex around or some microfiber cloths because fingerprints will obviously be just magnetic to the glass. I didn't notice any scratches or anything during the whole building process of this, so that's great, but obviously fingerprints and smudges will definitely be visible. It's mainly visible in areas around the thumb screws, which you will be coming in contact with the glass to take the thumb screws off, so the oils and smudges on your fingers will be on like a kind of circular pattern around the thumb screws. Very minor, I know, but I did need to mention it. The third con might only be in my situation, but the power supply. In here, we don't have a power supply shroud, which is kind of a bummer considering how nice this case is overall. You're still gonna see the ugly cables on the bottom, so I would have loved to have seen a power supply shroud or power supply bay here to keep that all hidden. But since it is so modular, they have the power supply kind of kept back a few inches from the back of the case. And there's this little cable that's supposed to plug into your power supply, which will lead to the actual back of the case. Now with my EVGA power supply, where it plugs into is on the back left, and the connector for this is of an L-shaped adapter. For me, it didn't really fit all the way because with that L shape and coming with the bracket, it would just come right up against it, so I couldn't put the actual power supply flush against the bracket to keep it in place. Kind of annoying, but again, it might be only in a certain situation cases depending on what power supply you're using. But I definitely would have loved to have seen a power supply shroud here. Fourth, and kind of reaching here, is the overall size and weight of this case. It's definitely on the larger side, which is why I said you might have to put it on the floor, which will be okay because of the whole intake not being an issue. But it's definitely big. It's bigger than my NZXT H440, and it's very, very heavy. So if you have a small desk or a very cramped desk, odds are you might not be able to have it next to you, which is kind of a bummer. But again, like I said, definitely reaching here. And the last con is gonna be the price of $250. Definitely on the more premium and expensive side, but I think it is well worth it considering the case build overall, how nice it is, the modularity of it, all the features with the Qi charging and the LEDs. It's expensive, but you are paying for a premium case here. So that's going to be the 5 pros and the 5 cons for the Be Quiet Dark Base Pro 900 case. Definitely a mouthful, but also a great case overall. If you're in the market to pick a new one up, or you just want to show off your components with a sexy case, this is definitely a great option. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up to show your support. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at randomfrankp. And lastly, hit that subscribe button. You're not going to want to miss out on any tech reviews I got coming up real soon. Well, I'm Random Frank P. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good day.